Coach Huseman, it was a rough day physically for the Spiders last weekend. Could you sort of bring us up to date on how you're feeling about your team's health?
It looks like we'll get everybody back from that game other than Josiah Williams. So everybody is on track and on target to play and perform.
Obviously, there are different levels of performing because of physical issues. Would you say most of those guys are close to 100%?
Well, really, nobody's 100% right now. It's hard. You got to do what you got to do. They all look pretty good right now, so I think we'll be okay.
I know that Reese had a late game issue. How would you assess where he is physically?
He's practiced every day this week.
And you have spoken about Delaware's defense on Monday. Is there anything that sort of hits you, or do you see that side of the ball much to be able to talk about it? Because especially at home, they've been dynamite on defense.
Yeah, I haven't really watched them a ton. I'll kind of zip through a couple games. They are real good. They've got really good personnel on that side of the ball. A lot of older players. If you look up and down the two deep, a lot of seniors, grad school guys are playing that have played a lot of football there, and I've seen for a few years now. So they experienced, athletic, and they're leading the league in defense in a lot of categories. So they are playing pretty well.
I usually don't tolerate many big picture questions, but I thought I'd throw one in about championship, playoffs, etc. Do you have any comment on those potentials for the Spiders at this point of the season?
Just excited to play Delaware this week.
In addition to being physically demanding, the last couple of games have also run the gamut emotionally. Do you have a sense of where your kids are after, going through a couple of really emotional wins?
Pretty much the same Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They don't change much. They just come on out and throw the shoulder pads on and go practice. It's a great group of guys. Never get too high, never get too low. Just go out there and do their job.
This past Saturday, getting out to a big lead like that, were you anticipating New Hampshire making a run and coming back? And if you were, just based on what they had done all this year, your second half, how do you guys view that in terms of teaching? It's like, okay, we know that's a good team, but these are some things that we need to do better also.
Well, the play right before the half obviously was tough. I mean, they go into the locker room pretty excited, to get that one. And so, I think that really boosted them. If it had been 24-0, we actually got a 3-and-out right off the bat. Our defense did, and then we turned the ball over. But it probably would have been a lot tougher for them mentally to get back in that thing like they did. But you got to give them a lot of credit, man. They were incredible. They just we'd get it back to 17, they'd go right down and punch it in, and they never quit one time, and our guys didn't either. So we responded really well to their punches, and they responded really well to our punches.
Did it show you a resolve in your team that maybe you weren't quite sure existed, or
Yeah, I think this team is a lot different than any team we've had. I think they believe that they can win now and not hope that they can win. They believe it. It's a very, very close-knit group. There's never – I haven't seen – and I think Coach Wood said this in the Sunday night meeting. He had the scouting report. And he brought it up, and and I didn't even think about it until he brought it up. But I have never heard one time any finger pointing at anybody on either side of the ball, special teams. Nobody going, man, if you just stop them, or why aren't you scoring a touchdown, or why are you giving up a big kickoff return? It's never that way. It's just, all right, it's a turnover. The defense runs out there, and it's their job to get a stop. And if the defense gives up a touchdown, or we don't field a punt, it gets down at the 2-yard line. It's our offense's job to get first downs and flip the field position. And so nobody, until he said it, because unless you see it, you don't even think about it. And when he said it, I thought, yeah, he's right. I don't ever see any of that at all. There's no finger pointing whatsoever.
Have you ever had a team like that in your years?
Normally the good ones are like that, yeah.
And what causes that, do you think, or what generates that dynamic?
I think these guys really like each other. It's a close group. A lot of times if you don't like somebody over there, it's easy to point your finger and just say, you're not getting it done. And I truly believe that these guys really like each other and enjoy being around each other and spending time together. And plus I think our coaches have done a great job of instilling into them that, and maybe I'm just around the defense a little bit more, but being around Billy, I can see that mentality of, who cares? I mean, it's if we turn the ball over on offense, defense it's your job. Go stop them, no matter where it is. And I think our coaches have instilled in these guys that mentality. All right, let's go get it done. And Billy reminds me of a defensive coach, the way he coaches. He's got a tough-minded mentality, no excuses. We're not out there to trick people. We're out there to execute, and that's what I like about him so much.
Hello, Tristan.
How you doing?
In 2019, you guys had a great win up there at Delaware when Aaron Dykes returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns. Big win. You had a good game. It was like 11, 12 tackles. There is something about that environment that's different than most, I think, in the CAA. Would you buy that? And if so, what is it?
100%. I mean, it's a live atmosphere. They're a big school. They definitely pack it with a lot of students. It's a big stadium too, and it definitely gets rowdy in there. So it is a hard place to go up and play, but you just got to stay neutral, not let the moment get too big, the place get too big. And you make some big plays like Aaron did in 2019 with those 2 kick returns, and they tend to quiet down real quick. So hopefully we stay on that side of it and just keep making big plays and not let it get too big.
Could you elaborate a little bit on the subject Coach Huseman finished with? And you've been on a lot of football teams, and I'm sure most probably have some issues. And talk about what he was talking about. It doesn't seem to be any sort of friction there between fellas.
Yeah, I like the point that he brought up. And I think it's mostly because, obviously we're both doing our thing on either end of the ball. And when one is not doing what they should be doing, like they don't score, they turn it over, it's the defense going up to them, hey, we got you. We're going to get the ball back to you, be ready. And same thing, we let up a big play, offenses go, be ready, we'll put these points up, don't worry about it. Same with special teams all around. And I think it just comes down to trusting the people around you, loving the people around you. Defense has all the faith in the world in the offense to do their job, and when they don't, we're just going to step up and take over from there. But we like to focus on, feeding off each other, building off each other. When they do well, we do well, and just take the energy from them and just play with each other. So I think that's what makes the team great, and that's why we're doing so well.
Hey, Jacob, Reese is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and Delaware has a candidate as well who's a very good player. I wonder if you could speak from the Richmond standpoint. You've played football with Reese for several years now, and what distinguishes him from other fellas?
I think it's just, he has a lot of control, I think, over everybody and just the situation. Everybody has the utmost confidence in him, and I know I do. I have the most confidence probably in him more than any other player I know, to be honest. But I think it's just really his control. I think he has a lot of respect. He's a really great guy off the field. And I think he was able to acclimate well into this locker room and just get everybody behind him and supporting him. And he's obviously been able to perform really well. And, yeah, just his control over the situations.
If I could just ask another question on that. I know when we spoke over the summer, you mentioned the accuracy of his passing and how that sort of separated him in a way. Could you go down that line a little bit and perhaps, without dissing anybody else, talk about Reese's accuracy and how that changes things?
Well, yeah, definitely it changes a lot of things because, you know, you could run the best route of your life and then the quarterback could just throw it into the ground or something. But, I mean, you know, it's rare you see Reese miss any type of pass, and when he does, it's almost like a shock that he missed it. But, I mean, he's just so good at keeping his emotions calm, and I think that's a big part of it. There's really no situation that's too big for him. And I just think he has the confidence in himself too, just to deliver any ball, you know, downfield, middle of the field, short passes. And I played with other quarterbacks. Seth Morgan, he was the same way. Honestly, he was a very good quarterback. He was very accurate, and you know, I've been blessed over my college career to play with those two.
Lastly, for me, the second half of your season has been more productive. Is there a reason?
I'm not really sure, to be honest. I think it's just, you know, just a matter of doing your job. We always talk about it as an offense, you know. I've said it multiple times. Coach October, he says, one shine, we shine. And, you know, it's just a product of us all doing our job. And, you know, whoever gets the ball, that play gets the ball. And, you know, there's no hard feelings. I don't think there's any me guys on the team or on the offense. And, you know, people, if anyone else scores, I'm happy with it. If I score, I'm happy with it. But it's just another day for us. And I think I've just been doing my job, and just the ball's been coming to me.
Thank you.
Winning cures a lot of it, but where would you guys say the emotional resolve of this entire team is after a couple of close, important wins? Physically, you know, you can get worn out, but I mean, what's it like to go through games like that where they do come down to the final play?
Well, I mean, like you said, winning cures it all. We're just so hungry at this point, especially this late in the season with the record we have and how we're doing, that it's kind of hard to look at those things and feel sorry for yourself. I mean, everyone expects to be, you know, week 9, 10 now, so everyone's expecting to be a little banged up. But like at this point, when we're chasing what we are and doing the things we're doing, that gets overlooked real quick, and we're just excited to play the next game and go 1-0 this week.
Hey, Jacob, can you kind of go a little further, I mean, and explain that, you know, why you came here is kind of New Hampshire, Delaware, William and Mary in the conversation, yes?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of other schools in the conversation, and I've said this multiple times as well. You know, Coach Kosh and Reese coming here definitely played a big part of it. But I was able to be in Richmond a couple times before I committed. A lot of VMI teammates are from Richmond. And just the area, you know, I know the school is great. It has a lot of respect. The area, there's a lot of things to do here. But I kind of just had this feeling that they were brewing something last year with how they ended. And I knew they had a lot of hungry people. I played against Tristan in high school, and a lot of talent over here. And I just know that I kind of knew it would come to a point like this where we'd be playing for a big spot in November. And that's what I want it to be. So,
Who won the battles between you and Tristan? Now, wait a minute.
Come on. You know I did. Nah, Freedom and Easton went back and forth. I think it was pretty even, but he did beat us one game with the last second punt return to win it. So I mean, it's whatever. That's in the past.
Shouldn't have kicked it.
Hey, Jake, you had several big third down catches last week, but can you kind of speak in the moment of the one you had actually right before the flea flicker play where you broke a tackle, you bulldozed a tackle? We don't see a lot of emotion out of you, but there was some on that play. Was there in the moment on that one, the sideline going nuts, that was pretty big?
Yeah, I mean, when you have a play like that, it's hard not to react the way I did. But I mean, I don't know. It's just you make a big play like that, and you just get really excited. And I think it's uplifting for everybody, even on the sideline, even for the defense. You know, everybody's jumping around and stuff like that. The guys are picking me up and stuff like that. But it's like It's just a surge of emotion, and I'm glad that we play with the emotion that we do. You know, we have a lot of guys that love football and love to be here and love each other, and I think it's coming full circle for us. But, you know, we have a lot more work to do, and we just have to get better.
Tristan, you're nodding your head like that play was an emotion
Yeah.
builder. Yes?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're used to seeing him get hit, so when he hits people, it's nah, I'm playing. But yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, the defense even feeds off the offense. We go hand in hand. So just seeing that, I mean, it boosts everyone. It gives us the momentum we need to keep going and finish a game like we did last week. So I mean, just as much as we love seeing the defense succeed and make big plays, we love seeing the offense do the same.
So big play-wise, the stop on 4th down deep in their territory in the first half. Were you shocked that you're out there making that play anyway on 4th down, and what did it do for you?
I mean, I'm shocked they went for it, and Phil said it best as they were going for it. He said, that's a sign of disrespect, and I mean, I 100% agree. You're going for 4th and short, that deep in the territory, like, that just, to us, it's that they think they're going to impose their will on us, and as a defense, you have to kind of take offense to that almost, and we did, and we stopped them, and I think it was their mistake.
John mentioned you had a good game up there against them. You also had a good game down here. Interception last year. Is there something about their uniforms, their helmets, whatever it is, that you kind of get relatively close by to Delaware?
Yeah, I mean, they're relatively close. My cousin also was committed there and looking to go there in 2019 and then played there, was on the team last year. So it's cool to play against them. And it's usually always a big game when we play them. So, I mean, everyone tends to rise to the occasion. So I think it's just one of those things.